Alexa, do socialist and communist governments own stakes in private, non-government companies?
The capitalist class in some systems exists at the discretion of the ruling party, creating a complex balance between state control and private sector involvement.
Maybe I should rename the channel to Exposer of Hypocrisy, or Irritated by Hypocrisy, or I've had it with hypocrisy. You guys can come up with the name of the new show. We'll switch it from Dollemore Daily to whatever you come up with. We're not doing that, but yeah, you get it. So in this edition of Trump and Republicans are just filthy hypocrites who just are in a cult who will follow and do whatever Donald Trump says. And they will bend and bow and scrape and twist themselves into pretzels, violating their own ethos, their own self-proclaimed closely held ideologies. Donald Trump back in August took a 10% stake in it's a public company, but it's a private company. It's not a government company, Intel. And he made a comment in the Oval Office yesterday to a Novo Nordisk, which is a pharmaceutical company, that he wants a stake in that company too. This is antithetical to the way Republicans have acted, well, forever. This is antithetical to conservatism, to free market capitalism, that the government would take a stake in a company as kind of a bribery note is in this case. And Donald Trump yesterday in the Oval Office made a comment to the CEO of Novo Nordisk that why don't you give us a stake of the company? Why don't you give America, I think he thinks it's him, a stake, and there's conditions on it though, which is really where the rub is, where the ethical quandary comes in. And then I'm going to play for you and read a tweet from Rand Paul calling this socialism, this type of action, and Eric Erickson, both stalwart conservatives who are calling it what it is. But the rest of the Republican Party, the same people who bemoan the election of Zoran Mamdani, are acting like this is A-OK. They were like, oh, he's gonna have city-owned grocery stores. Oh, this is socialism and communism. Watch Donald Trump in the Oval Office be the communist he always rails against.
Novo Nordisk is in the middle of a potential $10 billion acquisition for a smaller obesity biotech. They might need your and the FTC's help to see that through. Do you have any issues with that, or Eli Lilly buying a smaller obesity biotech from an anti-competitive
Well, I don't know. Do you want to talk about that? I'd like to hear it. Maybe you should give us a piece of the company, like I've been asking.
Yeah. So
give the United States a nice big chunk of the company.
So Novo Nordisk and Pfizer right now are in the middle of an acquisition dialogue and discussion.
It's you and Pfizer?
It's us and Pfizer.
Competing for the company?
Competing for the company.
Who's winning?
And as of today, our bid is higher. And our message to Pfizer is that if they would like to buy the company, then put your hand in the pocket and bid higher. It's a free market.
You see, what's baked into that statement by Donald Trump, that offhanded comment, we've already witnessed this take place with Intel. But what's baked in is, if we allow you to purchase this other company, this merger to take place between two corporations, if we allow it, if I allow it as president of the United States, you got to pay me. You got to pay up, and you got to give a part of your company to the United States government. Let's do an experiment here. Open up my billionaire-owned corporate wiretap that I have in my house. I'm asking the Amazon product, Alexa. Alexa, do socialist and communist governments own stakes in private, non-government companies?
Socialist and communist governments aim for common ownership of production means, but implementation varies widely across countries and time periods. In practice, some socialist countries like China have state-owned investment companies like CITIC Group that participate in private markets, while others maintain stricter state control.
You don't say.
Many socialist systems allow private small businesses with restrictions, while others heavily restrict or eliminate private ownership. The capitalist class in some systems exists at the discretion of the ruling party, creating a complex balance between state control and private sector involvement. Government ownership in private companies can take various forms, from direct stakes to regulatory control. reflecting the diverse approaches to economic management in socialist and communist systems. These systems often evolve over time, with some moving toward more market-oriented approaches while maintaining socialist principles. The relationship between state and private ownership remains a key area of debate and experimentation in many countries.
Is that it? Okay. That was a lot. That was more than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, it is socialism in practice. It is communism in some ways in practice. The same thing that Donald Trump accuses Democrats of being. The same thing that back when the auto industry went bonkers, when the markets crashed under George W. Bush, and then George W. Bush handed a recession to Barack Obama, and there was a bailout of the auto industry. A lot of these same people called that socialism, called that communism. Oh, this is too much. We can't do it. Where are those people now? There's only a few conservatives, Republicans, who speak out against things like this. People like Rand Paul, who tweeted this on August 20th, 2025. This is about the Intel purchase, the United States, Donald Trump taking a share of Intel. If socialism is government owning the means of production, wouldn't the government owning part of Intel be a step towards socialism? Terrible idea. Yeah. And it's not just him. You don't have to be an elected Republican. Here's Eric Erickson, a real turd, but at least he has the moral consistency within him to maintain the same view on this. There's many things he's a hypocrite about, but this apparently is one that he is not. This is around the same time period, talking about the Intel thing, and watch what Eric Erickson had to say about the Intel merger and the United States government owning the means of production.
I'm sorry, but no, this is a terrible, this is socialism. The U.S. government would become the largest shareholder of Intel. This is actual socialism happening by a Republican administration. There's no national security justification for this. In fact, I had some anonymous account on Twitter say, yeah, there's a national security justification for having control of Intel. Really? We don't have control of Raytheon. We don't have government control of NVIDIA. We don't have government control of Apple. We don't have government control of Boeing. We don't have government control of Lockheed Martin. We don't have government control of any major weapons developer or defense contractor. But you want 10% control of Intel in exchange for money the government already promised to give them. That's socialism. You may be comfortable with socialism. You may decide you like socialism because someone from the Trump administration wants socialism. But my God, people, what have we been fighting for the last decade? This is a horrible precedent. This is socialism. All of you people were freaked out about Mamdani in New York City wanting government-run grocery stores and saying the people need to seize the means of production. That's what Harold Lutnick is doing right now, saying that the government must seize the controlling interest in Intel, the means of production, in order to get government money. You can't just be against socialism when the left does it. If you're not against socialism overall, guess what? You're going to get socialism. So if you support socialism, apparently Donald Trump is your guy.
So if you support socialism, apparently Donald Trump is your guy. What do you have to say, MAGA? Is it only socialism when Democrats do it? Is it socialism when Donald Trump does it? Is it communism when Donald Trump does it? No, it's not, because he's the cult leader. And whatever the dear leader says, you go with. You say yes, yes, even though you are hypocrites. And if a Democrat did it, you would be crying and pearl clutching over it. As far as us owning stakes in companies that the government, that we the people help, I don't have a real problem with it. I do have a problem with the hypocrisy of Republicans who will throw up roadblocks and obstruction to progress when Democrats do. Like even them acting like, well, the Democrats are going to do this. We got to end the filibuster because as soon as they come back, they're going to end it. The Democratic Party isn't in the best state right now. Our leaders in our party, my party, I'm a member, are weak. You've got Chuck Schumer, who wouldn't endorse Zoran Mamdani. And then when asked, hey, you voted, who'd you vote for? I'm not going to tell you. That's not leadership. That's weakness. Hakeem Jeffries at the 11th hour endorsed Zoran Mamdani. These are corporate, middle of the road, milquetoast weakness. That's not leadership. The Republicans painting this Democratic Party that we currently exist in as some kind of a radical organization that's going to end the filibuster. We've had Democrats in power many times over many years in Congresses, and that didn't happen. They want to do it now because they need something done, and they're just going to change the rules midstream because they're hypocrites. The same people that are going to effectuate an end to the filibuster, to make sure that the government doesn't do for the most desperate among us. These are the same people who said that ending the filibuster was bad. Oh, we can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do it. Because they're liars. They're hypocrites. They're projection artists who serve at the whims of Donald Trump. What do you think? Let's have a conversation in the comments below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. It's the hypocrisy that bothers me the most. If they were just true and open about it, it'd be another story. Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your engagement with my content. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Check if you think you are. Sometimes people get unsubscribed for mysterious reasons. I don't know. But I would appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Be genuine and take care of one another.